Konnichiwa, hello, my name is Miki and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing two products that kind of coincide together. First thing I'm going to be reviewing is the e.l.f. Flawless Finish Foundation, and the other product I'm going to be reviewing is the e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer. Now, I wanted to review these two together because they're obviously both e.l.f. products. I've heard really great things about both of these, but we're going to test out to see if this can actually help my face today because I am a hot acne mess. I have a lot to cover up because I have been doing a Indian healing clay mask, which kind of just brings out all the toxins. So I have just been like breakout central these days. So I'm hoping that this will help me cover some shit on my face. Now, a little disclaimer before we get into the video: if you are super sensitive to profanity or if you are easily offended, this is not the place for you. I am a no filter bitch and I have no idea what's gonna come out of my mouth. So keep that in mind while you're watching. So if you guys are interested in seeing how the e.l.f. Flawless Finish Foundation and the 16-Hour Camo Concealer work, then just stay tuned. Now, for the e.l.f. Flawless Finish Foundation, this retails for $6. So this does not have a full fluid ounce. This has 0.68 fluid ounces. This is obviously a drugstore foundation. To me, that's a really great price point. Now, I have the shade Pearl here, and I just kind of went with the description that was on top of the actual container, which just says fair with neutral undertones. I am fair with neutral undertones. Now, on the back of the packaging, it says oil-free satin finish. To me, that's in between matte and dewy, which I prefer either in between or dewy foundations because my skin is really dry. Hopefully this works for dry skin. Now, I'm going to read the description here for the foundation on the website. It says our best-selling liquid foundation now in 40 shades. The lightweight oil-free formula blends naturally into skin for a beautiful semi-matte finish that lasts all day long. The liquid formula helps restores uneven skin textures and tones for visibly brighter skin, perfect for all skin types. I am going to be doing a wear test today, but I just wanted to let you guys know that I never wear my foundations for over like 6 or 7 hours unless I'm just out the entire day. Since my skin has been so wishy-washy lately, I've been trying not to wear makeup as much as possible. I've just been trying to take care of this crap on my face. So let's already just go into this foundation. I feel like I've been talking for freaking ever. In all my foundation reviews, I always do one side with a flat top kabuki brush, and then on this side, I will be doing my Real Techniques sponge. For my face, I went ahead and primed it already. I went and used the e.l.f. Prep and Blur Stick around here on the sides of my nose and on my nose because this actually helps minimize my pores. And on the rest of my face, I went and used the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. Now, you're probably wondering why I'm using this on the rest of my face instead of where my pores are. It's because I find that the Poreless Putty Primer doesn't really do much for the potholes on my face. I think it's because my pores are just so big that the Poreless Putty Primer just doesn't do enough, and that's why I use the Prep and Blur Stick instead, because I find that it minimizes my pores a lot more than the Poreless Putty Primer. Also, I just want to mention, I really like the packaging on this. This is glass packaging, frosted, and it's pretty hefty for a drugstore $6 foundation. I'm just gonna do 2 pumps here. Looking at the foundation on the actual palette, I feel like it might be a good shade match. Hopefully it doesn't oxidize, because if it doesn't oxidize, I feel like it's a pretty good shade match. I think from here on out for my foundation reviews, I'm gonna be zooming you guys a lot more closer so you guys can actually see what's going on as I apply the foundation and after I apply the foundation. That way I'm not showing you guys like just what it looks like on my face zoomed up. You guys are getting the whole process. So let me go ahead and zoom you guys in. All right, so here now up close and personal. If you guys see like the background moving, I have the fan on because it is hot as all balls in my room. So if you see any movement, it's because the fan's on. All right, so let's go ahead and apply this foundation onto the face. Ooh, yeah, I'm not liking the smell. The smell kind of reminds me of like older women's perfume kind of scent. I'm really not liking that. Now, that was kind of just like one dip into the foundation, and I'm not getting like too much coverage. I'm getting really low coverage, so I'm gonna go ahead and put some more on the brush. This foundation kind of is hard to spread out. You kind of gotta work quickly because it feels like it's drying kind of fast. It's hard to explain. It's like really sticky on the face and kind of tugs and pulls with the brush application. So I'm thinking that sponge application may be the way to go. Lately, I haven't really been using my brush to apply foundation because I feel like A lot of the foundations that have come out recently are very tuggy and pully on the skin, and I'm just not a fan of that at all. For dry skin, I feel like this actually looks pretty nice. If you look around this area though, which is where I'm mostly the driest, it does look a little patchy, which is why I definitely think that with the sponge, it's gonna have a lot more better application. Now I'm just gonna go in with the Real Technique sponge on this side and see what kind of application and coverage we can get here. Now I'm definitely liking the application with the sponge a lot better because I'm not tugging on my skin as much. I'm kind of just like patting it into the skin and hopefully making it become one with the skin. But this is definitely a lot lighter coverage than the brush side, as you can see with my face kind of split down the middle. I think this is going to be one of those foundations that the more coverage you want, the more you're going to have to layer it on, which I actually prefer because then you can have more control over the coverage. So if you don't want like a full coverage or a medium coverage kind of day, you want kind of sheer, you can still do that with this foundation. Here's what this side looks like. I feel like I'm definitely going to have to add another layer because a lot of my redness is still kind of peeking through and my active acne is still peeking through. So we're gonna have to just keep layering this on. So far for the shade match though, I feel like it's a very good shade match. I'm gonna go ahead and add another pump onto the palette here because I want a lot more coverage on this side because of all the mess that's going on. Oh yeah, there we go. There is that coverage. That is looking so much better with more coverage. I'm gonna go ahead and start this side with the sponge as well because I just really did not like the brush application. So I'm gonna go ahead and flatten everything out on this side with the sponge. That took about 2.5 pumps to get the coverage that I wanted. Now online and even on the packaging, it doesn't really say what kind of coverage this is supposed to have. So I'm just gonna go ahead and let you guys know this is about medium coverage. I don't feel like this is full coverage because of course I still have a lot of shit peeking through, but I do love how this is a very kind of satin finish foundation as they claimed. I like how it is not super duper matte. I do feel like a lot of my texture is kind of emphasized though, and I really don't like that because I have a lot of texture down here. Obviously I have a lot of texture on the side of my face, on both sides of my face, and I feel like this does say that it evens out. It says uneven skin textures and tones, and I feel like it definitely evened out my tone, but the texture is still definitely there. So far, I like it, but we're gonna have to see how it wears throughout the day and how it does with the concealer. Now, this is a problem that I have been noticing with a lot of foundations lately, is that it kind of bunches up around the nose area for me. Like no matter how much I hydrate this area, it just does not want to stick. So it's happening with this foundation, but to me that's kind of normal. So I'm not going to hold it against this foundation. I'm just going to go ahead and say that it's my shitty ass skin. While I have you guys zoomed in, I'm going to go ahead and apply the 16-hour Camo Concealer. Now I got this in the shade Fair Warm. This retails for $5, which I think is absolutely amazing price point. This comes in 18 shades. This claims that it is a full coverage 16-hour wear concealer featuring a large doe foot applicator to conceal, correct, contour, and highlight for flawless skin. The highly pigmented formula is lightweight, dries matte, and won't settle into fine lines or creases, ideal for all skin types. Now, again, yeah, girl, don't like matte because I am so dry, and I hate when things say ideal for all skin types because when you're dry, you don't want matte, you know? We're just gonna go ahead and see. I like the way it feels, and definitely prefer the smell on this one over the foundation. I'm only going to put one side on because as soon as I put it on, I kind of felt that it was definitely a thicker consistency concealer, so I don't want it to dry down super fast to where I can't maneuver it. So we're gonna go ahead and blend it out now. But right off the bat, not even having it on for like 30 seconds, I can just tell already that this is gonna have issues for me because I'm already kind of seeing like not really clinging to dry patches, but it's very patchy looking, bumpy looking. Like I'm not really sure how to explain it, but it doesn't feel like it's melted into the skin. I can't say that this is full coverage because you can totally see the hyperpigmentation and like the sunspots under my eyes. I'm not really sure what's going on here, but I feel like as soon as I kind of brought it down to my nose area, my pores are just like, hello. My pores are super duper huge around the nose area. Really don't like that because there are concealers out there that will you know, actually blur your pores. We're just gonna go ahead and add the concealer on the other side here. Definitely put way too much, so I'm just gonna go ahead and bring it kind of on the eyes here. Holy bitch. Like, okay, so this side is a lot brighter than the other side. I don't know what's going on with that. Now, the one thing I am not liking is around the nose. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it is porous as fuck. Like, it's really gross looking on both sides. I may have to use my NYX pore filler instead of the e.l.f. Prep and Blur because your girl's pores are just fucking ginormous. I don't know about this concealer. It's kind of like wishy-washy to me. I feel like now that it's drying down and it's drying down matte, it's kind of sucking the moisture out of my under eyes. So I'm not really sure I like this. I can already feel how drying it is. And again, your girl don't like drying products because I have dry skin and I can already see it kind of clinging to dry patches and just really creasing under my eyes. Like, do you guys see this? Right here, now you can see like my sunken eyes kind of peeking through a little bit more now that the concealer is drying down. If you got a lot of like wrinkles and texture going on there, I do not recommend this concealer as of now. I'm gonna add a little bit of this concealer on the spots that I need to obviously conceal, which is all of this mess over here. This is definitely a lot higher coverage than the foundation, which of course that's what you want in a concealer. And so I really like the coverage of this concealer. I just can't say that I like how it feels on actual dry skin. I feel like for the most part, this has definitely helped conceal and cover a lot of my active acne, which I am really liking. Now you can see a little bit of the redness peeking through, but it's not really like a big deal to me. So far, I feel like the foundation is pretty good. I don't feel like it's really super duper matte. Now that it's dried down fully, it is a little bit more matte than I would like, but I don't feel that same tightness and pulling as I do with the concealer. The only thing that I like so far about this concealer is the coverage. Another thing that I'm noticing is around my mouth area is already kind of creasing and separating. So again, don't know how I feel about that. So now that everything is on my face, we have the foundation, we have the concealer, I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my face. But before that, let's do the check-in time. It is now 12:58, so I'm gonna call the check-in time 1 o'clock just to make it a little easier for me to remember. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my face and I'll be right back. It is now 1:38, which is amazing because that means it only took me 40 minutes to do my makeup this time instead of like 2 hours. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and share with you guys what I have on my face. Now for my brows, I have been loving and obsessed with the European Wax Center brow products. I have the Browfection Stay Put brow pencil in the shade Dark. Now this I like to use to fill in my brows, and then what I use to kind of trace out the shape of my brows is the Browfection brow liner in Shaper in Ebony, or aka Dark. For my eyes, I'm wearing the Urban Decay Naked Ultimate Basics. Also, so you guys know, this is on sale like everywhere. You can even find it at TJ Maxx, and this is definitely, I feel like, one of the palettes that you should have, or everyone should have, because it has all these beautiful neutral colors. Now these are the colors that I use for like everyday purposes. I just went in with the shade Nude and Commando and Tempted all over my lid. For the shimmer on my eyes, I went ahead with the Juvia's single eyeshadow in Carlotta right here. I just kind of like placed it on my finger, put it on my eyelids. So for my bronzer, I want to say that this is a bronzer, even though this shade looks like a contour shade. I use this by swirling my brush around. This is the Milani Bronzer XL All Over Glow. I love this stuff, and I feel like it looks really nice on top of the foundation. For my blush, I went in with the Pixi Glowy Powder in Rome Rose. I love this stuff, especially for the summertime because of the little glow it gives me. And for my highlight, I went in with the Milani Afterglow, and this is in Strobe Light. This is super pretty. Also, I really like this because it's great for like a natural moment. For my mascara, I'm wearing the CoverGirl Exhibitionist. Been loving this. For my lips, I'm wearing the Milani Keep It Full Nourishing Lip Plumper in the shade Soft Rose. I'm not really sure exactly what my plans are, but I do know that I need to get a few things done. So I will see you guys in a couple hours for a check-in. All right, so it is now 7:37. So I've been wearing this for about 6.5 hours and a lot is going on my face right now. A lot of parts have rubbed off. I don't know why, because I haven't been touching my face at all today. A lot of the part right here is kind of faded off and rubbed off. Also some parts over here, and my forehead looks like complete shit. I have creasing here and a lot of texture, as you can see with the light. All the texture is visible. The parts on the side of my nose are looking pretty fucking crusty, very porous around like my nose ring area. And for some reason, the texture is just terrible. A lot of the foundation here has kind of rubbed off. I think next time I'm going to have to set it because I did not set it this time and it's literally all over the place. So I think even like right here, it has rubbed off and I haven't even touched that spot. I haven't itched it or anything like that. So honestly, I don't know what's going on with this foundation. It's kind of separating as well in some spots. As you can see, it's like, I don't know, it's really, really weird, like separating over here. My texture is terrible. It's also rubbed off on my nose up here and I have no idea how that happened. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know if I like this foundation. I feel like if you really hydrate your face and get a nice primer, that this foundation could really work. I see why a lot of people love this foundation, and I think next time that I'm just gonna have to set it and see how it works out then. So I'm gonna go and drive my ass home and I will see you guys in the next check-in. It is now currently 8:29, about 8:30. So I have worn this for 7 hours now, and I gotta say, I don't know. I don't like the fact that some parts have rubbed off my face. I don't know why, because I haven't been touching my face at all today. Under my nose area, if you can see, it's creasing pretty bad. Right here, it rubbed off completely. You can actually see a lot of my acne peeping out because the foundation's just not there anymore. And right here on this side, you can see that it has emphasized a lot of my texture, and I really don't like that in a foundation because I have a lot of texture on my face and nobody wants to see that. On my head here, you can see that I have a lot of creasing on these lines that I have, and then here on my little twins up here, the foundation has kind of rubbed off just a little bit. Again, I haven't been touching my face. I'm gonna keep trying it. I think I'm gonna set it because it has just separated around this area on my chin. It's separating pretty badly, and I don't know about this. As for the concealer, after it dried down, it felt like it was tugging, but now that I've gone throughout the day wearing this, it doesn't feel as tight, and I can tell that it still looks a little bit dry under my eyes, but not as bad as I was expecting. I feel like the concealer does last, but I also feel like the coverage got a little bit lighter throughout the day. I don't know, that's really, really weird because nothing is like rubbed off under my eyes or anything. I think that I'm gonna have to try this foundation with different types of primers and powders and then maybe give you guys kind of an update on it. But as for right now, I'd say that this foundation is definitely something that I wouldn't reach for right away. I am just going to have to give this another try and see how that works out. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it for you. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to click that big red button that says subscribe. Also, don't forget to hit that bell notification so you actually know when I post my videos. And as always, if you have any tips, tricks, questions, comments, or if you simply want to talk shit, leave it all in the comment section below. And I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.